let's focus on the future now. And
Yeah.
I have three very specific questions to ask you.
Sure.
So I think let's circle around to the fact that you've talked about how smartphone adoption has helped accelerate the growth of SHEROES, right?
Yeah.
And now that so many first-time users are joining your platform, particularly from tier 2 and tier 3 cities, like you mentioned, what opportunities and challenges do you see in building products for these users in general?
Right. So look, I think some of the challenges are very operational. One is languages, right? Like today we're live in 5 languages, but I can totally see operationally we got to do more. And we have a stack that makes 17 languages available, but we haven't had, the heart to make all of them live because it will just be like, we're going to
Right.
going to be drowned a little bit. But so that's one. But the other opportunity is we divide our core value in 4 parts: identity, network, well-being, and money. When any woman comes to us, these are the 4 buckets she's sort of looking at for herself. And I think we are going to see more depth get created in each of these categories. We definitely see a lot of product work ahead of us. We're also now stitching up the entire SHEROES ecosystem via a SHEROES stack, if I may say, that everybody else on the internet and due course will be able to use.
All right.
So we definitely see these are some of the possible trends. And then of course I think digital payments, social commerce, small credit, telemedicine, these are all sort of like they are hanging out there, and we will see more and more innovation in these areas. But for SHEROES, I think our big sort of uh, role is now one to keep the range. We still feel depth is more important than range because it ossifies the user relationship with us. It gives us better track of data. It also helps users individually better. So the impact of, let's say, changing lives for 100 women versus changing, content behaviors of 1,000 people, that's the toss up at any point in time. But our call is very clear that let's go deep because it's just more long term.
Right. Okay. Now I want to focus on another aspect, and that is the power of the network effect.
Right.
And SHEROES is a perfect example of that.
Right.
And that very specifically, the more there has been adoption of your product by women, the better the product has become for everyone, because more users are coming onto the platform. There are more people to talk to, the more people to share their stories with and bounce off ideas against. Right. And now that you've developed a network of more than 20 million strong women, what future plans does SHEROES have in store for everyone?
Right. So look, the way SHEROES network is being constructed, so we have figured out what they call the acquisition engine, or organic acquisition engine. The network adds anywhere between 200,000 to 500,000 women, depending on the month, every month, and we can get better it in some way. We can get to 1 million women, but more than that. At the top of it is a core asset, which is basically the communities, all the content, all the interaction, all the idea of safe space. And the legs of this network are now employment, entrepreneurship, capital, and these are things that we're building out now. So what we don't want to do is that SHEROES remains a content only network. We want SHEROES to be women's internet lifeline network, and that's what we're building. So when a woman comes to SHEROES, not only she finds a safe space, a sense of community, that she gets today, she might be able to find employment. She might be able to become an entrepreneur. She might be able to get access to credit, and tomorrow we'll see what else we can pull out. But these are 3 different, things we're betting on today. And they all go feed the network. They're good for women.
Right. Right.
So, like I always say, we're in the business of giving. We're not in the business of taking. So, women find work. Women find, entrepreneurship, or help to run a business. And of course, now with financial products, we're directionally going that.
Right. Let's talk about financial products.
Yeah.
So I think it was A16Z that says that every company can be a fintech company, right?
Yeah.
And I think now that SHEROES has enabled short-term credit in the form of quick short-term loans.
Yeah.
And given how India's numbers on financial inclusion for women are worrisome, does SHEROES have future plans to offer more financial services, and what other kinds of financial services to women other than loans?
Yeah. We actually have a huge ambition there. And actually, the reason for our ambition is not A16. The reason for our ambition is the fact that women, this model has worked for women very well. So if you look at the
Right.
entire microfinance sector, how did that sector grow? It grew on back of women paying back their loans. Always, always, always. I have a friend
Right.
who heads the Microfinance Association of India, and he told me the return rates are like 99.5%. And I asked him what happens to the point five. He says basically we can't trace those women. They're basically dead or they got, you know,
Oh,
baad mein beh gaye, or like we can't trace them, but they didn't sort of default on their loans, right? So this behavior also exists. Women are great borrowers, and then we have amazing examples of Seva Bank and Mandeshi Bank and Self Help groups and microfinance. Uh, this playbook also exists, right? Again, we're not building a new playbook here. What we're doing
right.
is we are sort of adapting.
Transferring it,
Yeah,
transferring an
we
existing one in the
yeah,
real world into the digital world.
yeah. Also, the traditional microfinance served rural women, which is great. We're not denying that. There is a market of about 200 million women who are peri-urban women, small town women who do not fall within the Citibank HDFC bracket, but they are neither microfinance or Jamhan bracket.
Right.
That's the bracket we serve today, right? Who comes to
Right.
SHEROES? That woman comes to SHEROES, right?
Right.
She runs a beauty parlor, she runs a boutique, she sells cupcakes on WhatsApp, she runs a tarot class, she offers tuition services, maybe she teaches White Hat Junior, maybe she's on Urban Club. Like there's a whole sub economy of micro entrepreneurship, which is ballooning right now. Okay. And and again, when you look at data from fintech, right? Women are less than 10% of all credit today. If you look at the big guys, capital floats and lending cards of the world or early salary, anyone you look at, the numbers
Right.
are really small. So
Right.
what
Right.
we're really doing is we are building for our own audience. We are building
Mm.
micro savings, we are building micro loans, building micro
Right.
insurance. Uh, we are just completing the picture for her. When we say
Right.
identity, network, well-being, and money, this is what we're doing.
Right. I think in the future we can see Sheroes turning into a completely instead of a content platform, just an enabling platform, right? That
Actually,
if you
we're setting up a new company. It's called SHEROES Money,
all
and
right.
it's already underway. You will see a launch hopefully next few months.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. But right, just circling around to what I was mentioning. So
Yeah.
basically, if you're a woman, you're able to get jobs. You're able to talk to people about certain sensitive issues. You're able to get access to credit. You're able to get access to basically just get validation for your entrepreneurial ideas. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I think
Also
Sheroes
markets,
is
also go to market.
exactly.
Yeah.
And besides that, social commerce. So I think
Yeah.
Sheroes is every large successful startup in India for women exclusively in a very micro format of the sorts.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So depth over range.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for this episode. The Indianaut Podcast is available on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook to receive all updates on the upcoming episodes. We'll see you in the next one.